good morning once again, and welcome to another wonderful Saturday morning of learning. Today's session is a very interesting session that has been organized by the National Human Resource Welfare Association, what we know as NHRWA very popularly. And we have with us today Vandana Prasad, who is the Chief Executive Officer and the founder of Gifteries. So after a good 2 decades in the corporate world, Vandana took on the route of an entrepreneur. But, it was not just that, okay, she's achieved something and now she just wants to become an entrepreneur. It was a very specially inspired move. So Vandana, as such, started her career in the IT industry, and this was back in the early 90s. And she was the regional academic and examinations head at Aptech, and later she moved on to Autodesk, where she managed the Asia Pacific vertical for the learning and development division of Autodesk. Following this, she went on to take on various leadership positions at multiple startups. And this happened until the idea of responsible gifting, sparked a personal favorite venture, which is Gifteries. So, as you know, gifting is like a very, very integral part of our culture, right? And, but responsible gifting is the need of the hour. Just go back and think about, what do you generally do when you're going to, attend a wedding, or, when you're going for a birthday party? It's like you end up either giving cash, or you end up giving things that you believe that the other person would probably like, but ideally they may not. For instance, when I got married, I received about 200 wall clocks. And what would I do with 200 wall clocks? And I think this is a very common scenario with many people. So with this concept in mind, Gifteries was started. And it was much appreciated when she shared this concept with, her close family and friends. And that was when she started showcasing her handcrafted gifts, which are all made from recyclable and biodegradable material. And this venture first started on Facebook as Vandana's Craft Co. And with the increasing appreciation and the increasing number of orders that she started receiving for her products, she took it to the next level of launching Gifteries.com. I will share the link on the group chat in a while. So basically, Gifteries.com is touted to be the place where you can gift with a concept and give what the other person wants, rather than what you want to gift that person. And to give you a brief, Gifteries provides gift management options for all celebrations. They customize reusable decorations, and this is either you can purchase them or you can just rent them, which means that if you're having a celebration in the family, you're having a function, you're having a wedding, you do not need to spend thousands or lakhs in, purchasing or providing, or purchasing like real flowers or high heavy level decor, which is just like thrown away in the halls and gone. Rather, you can rent it. Some of them are DIY. Some of them you can have people come and set it up for you, and then you just return it. So you're saving on your finances, and at the same time you're also kind of protecting the environment in a very green way, but that's in no way reducing the impact that it has on the beauty of your ceremony. Moving on, Gifteries also promotes the concept of minimizing waste by providing green options when they are, managing various functions. So they do a lot of event management. They also do a lot of corporate events and include a lot of interesting activities that, again, focus on the green aspect of enjoyment. They organize very interesting and offbeat hobby workshops, which includes recycling home material to create very interesting art, very offbeat art. And they also have a gift registry portal, which has redefined the concept of gifting in India, which is basically allowing people to choose what gifts they want and allowing the guests to look at the list and give the people that they want to gift something that they like, rather than what the gifter likes. They also engage with a lot of NGOs, not just for training women in becoming self-sufficient by creating art and selling it via the Gifteries platform, but they also have connected with various other organizations like the Robin Hood Army, which ensures that extra food that is there left over after a celebration does not go waste, but reaches the needy. In a nutshell, Gifteries customizes an environmental friendly celebration for everyone. And with this, I would now like to hand over the stage to Vandana to take you through the entire concept of responsible gifting and how using art as a hobby can help you also maintain a good emotional, mental, and physical wellness altogether. So over to you, Vandana. I'm very excited for today's session.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Kirtana. That was a wonderful introduction that you have given about me and the venture that I have started. And with the kind of inputs that you have given for the work that I am doing, it is a wonderful thing. Thank you so much for introducing me and giving the insights as to what we at Gifttrees are doing to everybody. Fine. As I was saying, thank you so much, Kirtana, for giving me this beautiful, wonderful introduction about me and the company and the ventures that we are doing. Thank you very much. And before I start my session, take you through whatever my thoughts are about this particular topic, I would like to thank Mr. Narsimha from NHRWA, the founder of NHRWA, for giving me this platform. At the same time, I would also like to thank Mr. Ramaprasad, who is the co-founder of NHRWA and organizing all these meetings and sessions for everybody. Both of them, they are doing a wonderful job. And thank you very much once again for giving me this opportunity to present my thoughts and my experiences with all of you. Okay, wonderful. Now, let me start by saying welcome all of you for this session conducted by NHRWA along with Gifttrees. Today's topic that we are talking about, discover your personal powerful de-stressor. Now, this topic itself is makes all of us think as to what is this personal powerful de-stressor that we are talking about. Lot of people, psychologists, everybody. I think many of you who have attended last week's session conducted by Megha, she had done a wonderful job about talking about stress management. Now, what else can we talk about stress management? Yeah. There are a lot of aspects of stress management which we can do it. But today's session, as Kirtana was mentioning earlier, we are talking about a personal de-stressor. Now, when we talk about personal de-stressor, each one of us will be having our own methods of handling our stress or any point of time that we will be working on or any problems that we face. Each one will have our own methods of dealing with it. But what I found in my journey of handling the stress is what I would be presenting today. Probably that will also give some inputs or some gives more thought process for each one of you to think about it in a different aspect and see how this will be useful and how it has helped me to come to this level of helping some other people also who might be sailing in the similar kind of a boat. Now, when I'm talking about discover your personal powerful de-stressor, one major thing that helped me in overcoming my stress, as Kirtana was introducing me and telling me that I have worked in the corporate for more than 2 decades, from early 90s onwards. But then when I decided to take a break and take care of only the our house and home related, concentrate on the household things, it also gave me a lot of time for me to think okay, I finished my household activities, my work, my need, my requirement, the household duties are done. Then next what? Then I started thinking, and when I had a lot of time in my hand, I started thinking as to how do I utilize this time that I have in my hand in a productive way, in a positive way, instead of just wasting time and doing ad hoc things. Let me put it to some use. That's when I started going back to my earlier days when I was interested in doing all these handicraft things, and thanks to my mother who has actually introduced me to a lot of the options in the handicraft things that we make, let it be stitching or knitting or embroidery or any other such activities. I got introduced to that at a very, very young age, thanks to my mother and my aunts who are very good at that. So that made me think, why can't I take it up and do something about it? Then I started following my hobby and my activities, what I was interested in. So one major thing I thought, let me take up one particular thing, a hobby, in a very serious manner and make something out of it. So my personal de-stressor for me was my hobby, which I had inculcated, which I started going in depth and working on it much more on that. Now, when we talk about a hobby, what exactly comes to your mind? A hobby, just give it a thought and think about it. If I utter the word, or if you hear a word hobby, what comes to your mind?
I think we can ask a few people if you would like to unmute and respond.
Yeah, definitely. Just for 2 minutes, if somebody would like to share what is a hobby. If I say what is a hobby, what comes to your mind? Is it an activity? Is it something that comes to your mind, or how we actually work on it comes to your mind? What is a hobby?
Something which we enjoy, something which is creative, productive, and enjoyable.
Wonderful.
Hobby is nothing,
hobby is nothing
but
a form of relaxation.
Form of relaxation. Excellent.
Yes, Dhananjaya, you can go.
Yeah, it is self-enjoyment. That person can enjoy himself. He can spend.
It's happiness. The work you are doing.
Vinita, can we take you after Dhananjaya, please?
Yeah, it is a kind of work related. It could be anything which he can enjoy for himself, and he can explore and having pleasure on that, and he can elaborate and he can spend time on that. And it is a personal thing where he can be enjoyable for spending his time whole time for himself. That is what.
Wonderful. Yes, Vinita.
Yeah, actually, a hobby is a thing when you are doing something, it will give you the pleasure. Actually, whatever you want to do, you can express yourself and you feel something great. It's like, okay, I'm doing something. It's a great feeling, actually.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Can I come in?
Yes, Mr. Hariprasad.
Yeah, good morning. See,
Good morning.
according to me, hobby is something like which gives you utmost satisfaction without any commercial expectation. So
Wonderful.
doing something to explore yourself, or express yourself in.
Yes,
through the hobby.
wonderful. Exactly. All of you have put in very precisely what a hobby is all about. As you people were rightly saying, it is an activity that we enjoy doing it. It is a pleasure that gives us. It is like, a kind of satisfaction that you get without the stress, without having targets or without doing any such things. You enjoy, you do it at your free time. You have some time, extra time in your hand, you do it. But if you are a hobbyist, if you're into hobbies and you want to pursue your hobby, I can vouch for it that you will find your free time to continue and pursue your hobbies. That is a part I'll probably will talk about it later. But having this hobby also relaxes you from your stressful life or other activities that you are doing. It really calms you down. And something you don't consider it as a profession. Somebody rightly said that, yes, this is not having a commercial value. That is what a hobby is all about. So in a nutshell, if we have to define a hobby, it is an activity that we enjoy doing it in your free time to relax, and something which is not taken as a profession and doesn't actually have any commercial value for that. We'll come to this point at the end of the session where I will talk much in detail about it. But as of now, if you really look at the definition of a hobby, this is what a hobby is. Now, if you can just...
Sorry, I'm going to be cutting you through. So we have another comment by somebody with the title Exports at Telon. I hope I got your company name right, but it'll be good if you can join from your original name because we'll know who you are, or if you can just add your name there. They say hobby is an activity done regularly in one's leisure time for pleasure and great feeling.
Hello, ma'am. Monali here.
Yes, Monali.
Yeah. This is my mail. This is my login.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going for my company profile. No, that's why it comes as exports.
No worries. You can probably just add your name there at the end of your comment so we know who it's coming.
Yeah. Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, each one of you will be thinking. I would request all of you to give a few seconds thought what your hobby could be. What do you think the moment I say the word hobby? What all the activities that comes to your mind? Just give it a thought. I will take you through this, but still, give it a thought. Okay. Now, when I'm talking about a hobby, one of the major things that comes to your, one of the few things that I would be sharing few examples here. I cannot actually explain all the types of hobbies that one can have. But here, when you are talking about this picture itself gives you a insight as to what I'm talking about as a hobby. Here, this I'm talking about those activities which you need to think about. It is more your brain activity that you would be doing. Like, for example, solving crosswords or solving puzzles or learning a new language or learning a musical instrument, something like that. So something related to your brain activity is one such hobby that you can think about. Otherwise, very common other hobby that we have is dancing. And of course, painting and sketching, any these kind of art forms are also could be considered as a hobby. Or hobby could be your outdoor activities like your sports, your yogas, or your playing tennis or cycling or any such trekking, or all these things also can be considered as a outdoor activity hobbies. Then you have wonderful, excellent, one of my favorite hobby is reading. So the other excellent hobby that any one of us can inculcate is reading. These are few of the hobbies that we can think about in a broad way. Now, the next question is, why do we need a hobby? Okay, hobbies are fine. There are so many things. A lot of people are doing a lot of activities. But why do we need? Why do me personally need a hobby? Well, there are a few points that I would like to discuss here or bring to everybody's notice is why do we need a hobby? One is overcome stress that we have been talking from the beginning of the session, what we are talking or this is one activity which really helps you to overcome your stress levels. Let it be your stress with the office work or any other activities, your family, or it could be anything. If you have a hobby, you have an outlet there where you can actually control the stress, or you can reduce your stress level, come out of that stressful situation and be happy about it. As we say, it is an activity which we enjoy doing it. The moment enjoyment comes, you are happy about it. So automatically your stress levels come down. And the next thing that we talk about is you are getting out of your regular mundane activities and to fill the void. And what I'm talking about mundane activities, your regular day-to-day, every day, like, you are busy with your office activities, you're busy with your household activities, and we're busy with so many other responsibilities that we have. If you have a hobby, we can just come out of all these regular routine work and concentrate on that. And so that, you can regenerate. And I have a lot of free time. I don't know what to do. Develop a hobby. That also will help you to come out of your the unwanted situations. You can get away if you have a hobby that you can develop it. And with the moment the stress is reduced, the moment you are happy about it, the moment you are enjoying the situation, what happens? You get positivity into your life. So all the negative things, you forget about it. You are not concentrating on it, but you are enjoying the life. You are doing so many other positive activities. And that will help you to enjoy your life and bring positivity into your everyday life. To feel joy with an act that you can connect with your soul. Why we particularly said soul? Usually people talk about meditation and connect to the soul, connecting yourself, internally with your spiritual thing. Here I am not talking any such things. Probably even that is also there. People can take up meditation as a hobby and still, connect to their soul and feel the happiness. But here I'm talking about just by doing an activity that you enjoy doing more, because you're doing with love, we are doing with joy, with your very happy situation, happy feeling, joyful feeling. That itself is sufficient to connect with the soul. The moment your soul is satisfied, as they say now, when you eat food also, is it that you're eating food to satisfy your stomach, or are you eating it to satisfy your soul? So, probably that is something very similar kind of a situation I'm talking about here also. And next, when I'm talking about, apart from these points which are useful for you when you take up a hobby and help you address the stress management or stressful situations, we also have other very important points that will help us in helping us in coming out, how this hobby can help us in other activities also, other related things also. Now, when I'm talking about here it is a combination of physical activity and directed by the brain, and the end product that gives you a sense of fulfillment. What am I talking about? A physical activity. A physical activity is, as I said, the outdoor activities, your trekking or your cycling or running or any such physical activities, your dancing or those things, or it could be mind related activities. And apart from that, there are some activities which you sit at home and do it, which is where you use your brain also, and also the physical activity. For example, any handicraft things that you do or paintings that you do. First, you imagine what you want to do, and then you start using your hands and start working on it. So these are also something which gives you coordination. So if you look at it clinically, then here very specifically, I am talking about usage of both your hands to perform this activity, where your left brain and your right brain also is in coordination. So majority of us are right-handed. That means to say your left brain is more active. So when you bring in your left hand also to use to create something or use your hands to, both your hands to work on these hobbies or these activities, then your right brain also starts working. So this right brain, left brain coordination is very, very important and crucial for all of us, especially for senior citizens. Like as you age, as your age goes on increasing, these these activities helps you in keeping yourself very fit and agile. Now here we are talking clinically, it is proven with a lot of research that has gone into it, and a lot of surveys that were conducted, and they say handicraft making, that is using both your hands or any physical activity and your brain, will help reduce mental and physical disorders in people with anorexia nervosa. That itself means, like, age related problems that we face, probably your Alzheimer's or your Parkinson's, or basically your body pains that you get as you grow in age. All the things can be controlled when you have these hobbies that you take up with. What happens with that? Patients, like if somebody is suffering with some illness or sickness, they will feel more positive if they have achieved something and they have done something, they have taken up a hobby and they have created something out of it. That helps them a lot in to bring in the positive feelings for the patients. This is one example that I can directly relate to myself. A few years back, when I was very sick and not able to do a lot of physical activities that I was doing it, taking up this hobby and really creating these things helped me in recover much faster. I had a target to meet, and somebody asked me to make certain number of items, and I know that I have to make, and I enjoy doing it, but I had a problem physically, but I forced myself to enjoy myself in creating that. That helped me actually overcome my health related problems. I can give myself as an example for those. And the next thing is, as I was telling you, for senior citizens, they feel a great sense of achievement and well-being. They feel that they have done something wonderful with their time. Senior citizens, they have a lot of time in hand and they want to create something. So they feel that, I have taken this hobby, I have done these things. Then that gives the excellent sense of well-being for those people. Cognitive demand helped increase happy hormones. So when you're happy with doing these things, when you have achieved something, when you're feeling very good at it, I'm sure, all of you, I'm not going in depth as to what these things are. I'm just giving you points to understand that these are all the things that are useful if you take up a hobby. That is all I am trying to give here. So your happy hormones increases. So your immunity system increases, your physical activity increases, your health improves. everything will happen with this kind of scenario. Decreases in anxiety disorders, increases in self-esteem. For a simple thing, they have a sense of fulfillment. They said, I have achieved this, and they don't have to show it to anybody. They do it for themselves. And when they have that sense of fulfillment is there, automatically their self-esteem will increase. The anxiety disorders or any such related, mental related, stress related problems can be controlled with this. Reduces levels of depression. This is another area which I am sure all age group people will actually go through at some point of time or the other in their lives. Let it be related to their education, let it be related to their jobs or their families, or some point of time, each one of us will maybe a smaller or bigger version of these problems we face in our lives. So to overcome that, to help us to handle these situations, hobby taking up is an excellent idea. Now, I will go through another small thing that I would like to share here before I go into benefits, as I was talking about the senior citizens. Yeah, another point that I would like to share here is having to do something that will give you enjoyment is an excellent fallback for the people who have retired from their regular official work and they are about to retire. You all can give it a serious thought, because taking up a hobby at that point of time will help them to fill the gap that they have with a lot of time in hand. And what do they do with that? That they can, think about and address that issue in the beginning only if you have a hobby. Another benefit that we are talking about is, as I said earlier also, it is a private activity. You don't have to show it to anybody. It is your inner satisfaction. You are reflecting yourself and your own self, that whatever you want to do, you do it. You don't have to share it. Like, for example, I read it for my pleasure. I don't have to share it with anybody. But at the same time, if it is an option that you want to share this with somebody, you can always get connected with the like-minded people, get connected with the people with a similar kind of hobbies and exchange notes. For example, I love reading a book and I would like to share whatever I felt about reading book with somebody who might have read that book. The same book also would have been read by somebody else. I would like to discuss about the book and share. That is my personal choice. It is not a necessity. It is not a compulsion. So that is also what we can think about doing it here. And another thing is, as I said, it can be my own personal solitary activity or connect to other people. That is my decision. I don't have to depend on anybody. The other thing is, it draws you away from negative feelings. So since you are occupied, you're very, very, very old saying, which we have been listening from probably when we are in KG or even before that, is empty mind is a devil's workshop. So you get all kinds of unwanted thoughts. You get it when you have free time, when you have nothing else to do. So focus on something like this. So all these negativities, negative feelings will not come into your mind at all. So the moment the negative feelings doesn't come, you already are in the positive form or in a positive way that improves your mental health. So these are a few other benefits that you can think about. Now, wonderful. We have seen about what the hobby is and how it is helpful for us or the senior citizens or anybody, any walks of life people can think about, and those things. Then the question comes, like, okay, fine. Okay, you have told me all about, having these hobbies and all those stuff. But how exactly do I start a hobby? What do I do to start a hobby? The first thing that you do, anything that you want to perform or something, like, for example, you are having, some visitors coming home. The first thing you mentally or physically, you write down in a book, or if it is a bigger function or a lot of people are coming, or a family is coming, you mentally know so many people are coming and you make a list of all the people who are coming and what you would like to make and things like this. It's a common thing that each one of us do. So the first thing, even when you want to start a hobby, this is the first thing that you can do, is make a list. List of what? Now choose all the kinds of hobbies that you have come across. all the options that you have, you make a list of it. Now, once you made a list of it, now what you have to do is you have to choose what do you want to achieve by taking up that particular activity. Does it give you fulfillment, personal fulfillment, or make something or for someone? I mean, I'm creating something for myself, or am I creating for somebody else? Am I giving it to somebody, or does it have a commercial viability for the whole thing? So these are all the few things that you can give it a thought before you finalizing on what topic that you want to take up this hobby for. Now, after this, these are all something probably, each one of us know that, how to go about coming to the final decision of taking up what activity that you want to do. Once you made a list, you have tested and said like, why do you need what you want to do with this activity. Now set up a realistic goals. Do you have the time to practice this hobby? Can you make time for it without crunching your calendar or getting stressed out? It is not like, the other very common hobby people will talk about is photography. Now, in this kind of situation today where there are restrictions for going out and all that stuff, do you think taking up nature photography is really a viable hobby today? You have to think about it. Is it practical? Can you practice those hobbies? Where do you do it? How do you do it? So these are all the things that you need to give it a thought before you finalizing on what your hobby is. Can you make time for it without crunching your calendar, getting stressed out? I already have these activities. If I am taking up this hobby, now am I adding more to my stress levels, or is it going to relax me? Is something which you need to think. So don't get stressed out by finalizing on a hobby. So give it a realistic thing. Think about it, how practical it is, how doable this is, and how you can kind of work on it. And the effort. Is it easy to learn? How easy it is to learn? Is it commonly available? How it is? Do you need to undergo training for this? Okay, I can do it. Somebody telling me some tips, I can go ahead and do it. Is it as easy as that, or do I really need to undergo some sessions and serious kind of practice sessions and trainings and all that for me to take up this hobby? Is something which you have to give it a thought. Does it create stress or remove stress? As I said earlier, does it help you in addressing and removing your stress levels, or is it increasing your stress levels? Is something which you need to look at it. And last but not the least, what we have to also look at is the financial stance. Do you need a heavy investment? Can you afford the investment? Does it make you free for a good decor, or is it truly a gifting option? The reason I have given these kind of options is like, do you need a heavy investment? Like, for example, as I said in the previous points, is that if I'm taking up as a nature photography as a hobby, first thing, is it viable? Can I do it? Second thing is, if I'm talking about that, then heavy investments are required. Like you need a big camera and a big lens and all that stuff. Can you afford that kind of investments today? Is something which you need to look at it. Does it make good for the decor? I mean, or okay, I have invested, it is looking beautiful in my house. It is an art piece that I have invested on, or I'm creating or doing. You can think about it. How many such pieces can you make it even for yourself? Like there is this friend of mine who is into resin art. Resin art needs actually a lot of investments. You can do one piece, you can do two pieces. It's a beautiful art form. It is a wonderful thing that can be done. But how many pieces can you do it? Or even if you want to gift it, since it is a very, very costly affair, how many such pieces can you really gift it to somebody else? These are all the points that you actually have to think about before taking up this hobby as a whenever you are finalizing on your hobby. These are all the points that you have to really think about. Now, here is what I am talking about with Gifteries. What I have actually created or done or have been doing it is literally, now I would like to ask a question here. People can, few of them, maybe I can take another minute or so to just open this forum and ask a question, asking you people, how much do you think minimum investment is required to start up a hobby? Can somebody answer me this question? How much do you think is the minimum investment to take up a hobby?
Ma'am, this is Tejaswini here.
Yes.
Tejaswini here. Thank you so much for the lovely session. I've been hearing the session with a lot of interest, and it's really interesting. So to this question, I would like to answer, writing is a hobby which absolutely takes nothing from you. So, I have been in this hobby for quite some time now. So writing is a hobby which there are a lot of platforms which give free space to put down your thoughts, and it absolutely takes zero money. It only takes your thoughts and a pencil and a paper. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah, so literally you can say probably investing for a pen and a paper is all that you need. Yes, wonderful. That's wonderful. Yes, that's right. Yes.
Hi, this is Priya here, and I agree with Tejaswini. It's just zero investment, and main thing what we have to invest is our willpower to do the thing. I started with the hobby, like I love colors. I got attracted towards so much of colors, which was a stress buster for me. And I took up my kids' crayons, extra crayons, which he's told me that no, Mama, I'm not going to use them. I want to throw it. I said, let it be better. I started using them with simple papers and started drawing something. Then from here we can start.
Yes. That's right.
Yes,
that's right.
Apart from those things, just we need to have, first of all, your personal time to invest. Personal time for yourself. There is a minimum investment required starting for. After that, we'll go for any, based on your hobby requirement. It may go for investments like, how much you require. But first of all, we need to start from that initial time requirement for yourself to start hobby.
Absolutely right. Absolutely correct. Yes. Anybody else? One more I would like to take up. Okay, fine. As Tejaswini was mentioning and Mr. Dhananjay was saying and Priya was sharing with, the wonderful thing is yes, literally we can start with zero investment and we can make, some of them must be thinking, are you really kidding me? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. At Gifteries, what we have done is the same thing. At Gifteries, our hobby program workshop is exactly what we practice, hence we preach. So what we are doing is, to continuation with whatever the answers that I got, here we are talking about creating writing a poetry or writing a story really needs something, as I was telling, it's a hobby related to your brain and mind. Yes, that requires. If you're talking about handicraft making, even that also you can start with literally zero investment or very, very nominal, probably, very, very basic kind of a thing. Literally nothing. With the waste that it is there, we can create something out of it. We can have a hobby to do that. So, how to start a hobby with a minimal investment. So first let me, this is a situation that each one of us are aware of. Last 1.5 years, we have been, hearing only this word pandemic and, more pandemic kind of scenarios. Now here, what we are talking about, the first thing, all of you, I'm sure, the first time last year, March, when the lockdown happened, the first thing that all of you have done was, I'm sure, think about it, is clean up your house. I think I am right about it. Now, when we clean up the house, there are a lot of articles that comes out which you don't use, you have not used, or you want to throw it off, and you don't know what to do with them. These are all the things that come up. That is exactly what we did it when we got into this lockdown situation. Not only that, even otherwise also, we keep looking at it and, keep cleaning our homes on and off and doing it. And there are other few things which have actually, another few points which, or the words, terminologies that we have been hearing about during this situation. One is fight global warming, reduce waste, reuse the whole particles, recycle. So what is happening is with all these kind of scenarios, which I personally sat back and made me think what we can do to address these things, maybe a step at a time, at our own way, one step after the other. Let me start with something, maybe others will follow. These kind of thoughts came to me, and I started using all those waste materials which are lying in my house, may it be newspapers, may it be old clothes or anything like that, and recreating something out of it. And so what is happening, your wastage and the garbage that is going out of your house reduces. Usage of plastic and other single-use plastic problems should be addressed. Yes, reduced waste, and that will help you fight global warming. Today I might be one person, tomorrow somebody else joins, and tomorrow, I know in a few days' time, I have a group of people thinking something similar thoughts. Yes, then we can create a whole new world with us. So what we can do, we can reuse them or recycle them, upscale them, and create some beautiful articles out of it. Today, so what we can say, today's mantra is best out of waste is the mantra. So when we are throwing out things, that's the reason I said, you can actually create so many beautiful articles from the waste or the things that you throw from your own house. You create something beautiful out of it and make use of it. So best out of the waste is a mantra here. And how does Giftories make this possible? How does this company Giftories, which is addressing all these situations, how is it making it possible? At Giftories, we use materials that are usually discarded and upscale them to create lasting pieces of art or daily use articles. So all those things that you think that you can throw them off, you can actually use them to create something beautiful for your own usage or gifting purpose or any other such things. This is what we do it in Giftories. Declutter and create new out of old. So this is again in continuation of that what we are talking about. The joy and satisfaction of creating your own art and also make your own gifts. Encourage family and friends to participate in the creation via quality time. So these are all the things. It actually, the last point, one more point I would like to talk here is encourage family and friends to participate the creation via quality time. Is you can spend now with the lockdown situation, since all of them are sitting at home in one place, you can all of you participate in that, in creating with the articles available there and spending quality time. So that is also one of the things that you can think about. And you can do much, much more than what is the whole thing all about. We help hobbypreneurs to redefine hobbies into flourishing careers. So as we were talking in the initial slides, traditional definition of a hobby is an activity or interest pursued for pleasure or relaxation and not as a main occupation. That's what we discussed earlier. Now at Giftories, we are redefining the whole thing. We are saying it's an activity or an interest pursued for pleasure or relaxation and also turn it into an occupation. So how is that possible is something we have created this platform on Giftories, which helps you address those things. Creating art from the waste, that means like, for an example, a lotus is growing out of the slush or a mud. So such a beautiful thing comes out of such a waste things. So we are also looking at that kind of a concept. We conduct art workshops for the underprivileged women, old age homes, vocational education students, anyone who wants to learn it as a hobby. We conduct sessions at educational institutes, NGOs, summer camps, apartments, parties, and many, many more areas. These kind of workshops are conducted. Giftories is a platform for hobbyists to promote their eco-friendly art, monetize their efforts, become financially independent. Responsible gifting. Provide meaningful gifts to eco-friendly products, rent and reuse decorations, reduce celebration waste via gift registry. I think this was very nicely explained in the introduction what Kirtana had given. Probably anybody who are interested to know more about what gift registries and what do we do with these activities, you can get in touch with me personally. I will be more than happy to help you out with that. Scientifically designed hobby workshops. So help you identify the most viable hobby that you can have, design a hobby and enhancement plan. I already have a hobby. How do I enhance them or go to a next level or things like that? And individual or group sessions, we conduct all those things. Connect with other similar hobbypreneurs. We create a community so that you can interact with these kind of similar like-minded people. establish your careers as an eco-gift champions at Giftories. Again, you can be partnered with us to promote eco-friendly gifting and products that can be made with us. And being your responsible hobbying with us, if you have a hobby, that's wonderful. If yes, it's great, then you can showcase it on Giftories. You can directly say, like, I have these, articles that I have made. I want to showcase it. You can use Giftories platform to do that. If no, you can learn from us through our workshops, and Giftories are there to help you out. Still, you are confused as to what you want to do, how you want to do it. You can always get in touch with us. We will guide you to take up this as a hobby or an activity. So this is what it is. So just before I end this session, I want to show few of the articles which we have upscaled and made through some of the waste materials that are lying at home. With the newspaper, we can make pen stands or baskets or decor items or coasters and trays and candle stands. The list goes on and on and on. And art with bottles. We have bottle arts, various forms of bottle arts. I can only give you few examples what can be done here. So these are all the art forms that we teach and preach. Art with cloth. You have your old clothes lying at home, your saris or any such things. We can create wonderful articles, your bags, giveaway bags or other bags, your purses and carpets and much more than reusable decoration items, which we can reuse again and again for different functions. And yes, with all these things, we really would love to create a new kind of a society or give it a thought for the people thinking about it in a different way. And these are few items I would be I could say, I am proud to say, like, right from the time you enter my home, from the main door to whatever that is used till probably your bathrooms, you will find something I would have created using the items that we throw, otherwise we throw out and increase the garbage. So it was, with this I conclude my session. Any questions, I am happy to answer.
Thank you, Vandana. That was a very, very interesting session. In fact, for those who are here, I've been one of the most loyal customers of Giftories for a very long time. In fact, my sister who got married a couple of years back was, her entire wedding was handled by Giftories, wherein right from the tambulam bags, right, that we make to give away at the wedding, and even at the engagement, the gift trays that we keep, along with managing the entire gift registry, because the couple got married in a place very different from where they otherwise live. So it didn't make sense for them to get gifts here and then take it back, take that whole load of gifts back home. So Giftories created this really wonderful platform of a gift registry, so they could choose what items they wanted, and it ranged from everything. It ranged from just cash for people who prefer giving cash, and went right up to a dining table, a sofa set, everything of that sort. And it became very easy because we have family and friends who are flung across the world, and not everybody can attend a wedding. So it was easy for them to gift the couple, because all they had to do was scan a QR code and get into the web page and choose a gift and just contribute towards a gift as to whatever amount they wanted. So it became a very easy format. It reduced a lot of waste even at the wedding, and all the decor that we had over there. I think 90% of the decor, if I remember correctly, Vandana, please correct me, was rented and reusable. So we had stuff like how you have in a theater show. They came, they set up the setting, and then they took it back and went. And we tried to minimize the amount of use of real flowers for just the decoration part. And we kept the flowers especially only for the ceremonial part of it, where where the wastage was really low. So with that, I would like to open the floor for questions to anybody who would like to ask. Prior to that, I have shared the feedback form in the group chat. As I mentioned early on, everybody who fills in the feedback form, you will be emailed your participation certificate for today's session from Giftories. So kindly do take this opportunity to fill in the feedback form. It's there on the group chat. And while you're asking your question, kindly do switch on your camera as well, so it we can see you while we're answering your question. Thank you. Any questions, anybody? Okay, Vandana, maybe we have Tejaswini. Yes, Tejaswini, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not on camera. So Vandana ma'am, actually, I just had one question which was running through my mind,
Yes.
What usually happens is when a hobby becomes a career, that's much more satisfying. And probably that is what you, felt with the gift trees, I think. So I was just thinking through how do we make sure that, like we kind of identify this early on in our life, what is it that really makes me happy, and can I pursue that as a career? So this kind of identification we try to give to kids by putting them into schools wherein a mix of both academics and extracurricular or co-curricular activities, as they call it. So we try to kind of give that to the kids, but over period it gets lost during those years of studying somewhere, and then again they fall into this trap of something which they kind of do just for the sake of career, and then finally they find out, okay, this is not what I really like. I want to do that. I want to identify what I really like to do, and then try to pick up the pace again. So I was just trying to think, how do we backshift this a little bit for our kids? And do you have any thoughts around this?
Definitely, Tejas, Ashwini, right? Okay.
Yeah, right.
What you're saying is absolutely correct. The thing is, like, we give these kind of exposures to our kids at the very early ages, but over a period, because of the peer pressures or the society requirements, like your studies and your job requirements and all that, these things get lost somewhere. But at the same time, what happens is, over a period of time, if it is already introduced to the children at the early age, even at a later stage, they can pick up from wherever they left off and continue from there. Not an issue. Yes, to address these issues, yes, we do conduct a lot of workshops for the children, and even to the extent, like, even for birthday parties for the children, we make it, so playful and enjoyable. We conduct these workshops and say, like, you can actually, teach them something there and say, like, I have created this, and take it back with them as a, take it back as a return gifts for whatever the articles they have made. See, these kind of things we do it. So even for the parents also, they think different way. Even they also get an exposure to what is done by the children and all that. Yes, we do conduct these things, and we have to actually think a little more on this particular aspect as parents, to see that our children don't lose touch with the hobbies that they have. They should keep pursuing these things along with their studies and their careers also.
Absolutely.
Even at
So given that there are a lot of distractions in terms of gadgets which actually take away their time, they kind of get lost in in the technology and the other things, and towards maybe over a period of time they feel they aren't creative enough, and they're not doing anything of their own mind and hands and body, and they're not doing anything from them. They feel kind of depressed in future timeline.
That is right. So this developing a hobby also is a solution for your question, like, keep them away from the gadgets. So for that period of time, they can be away from the gadgets when they are, completely involved in their hobbies. If it is a music, they are singing or they're dancing, they are not using any gadgets there. So, still we can kind of use it and address this particular issue. Yeah, that's a wonderful thing. Yes, we need to, give our children a right path to continue with their hobby as they progress in their studies and careers also.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, Mr. Gopal Reddy, you can go.
Yeah. Firstly, thank you very much, madam. Very nice presentation. And in fact, what I say is that, without a hobby, we are incomplete. To make yourself complete, a hobby is a must. My point here is that just to add to whatever excellent points you covered, see if you can organically take up the hobby which is connected to your job or career. For example, what I'm trying to say is that, if you are a salesman and if you are supposed to travel a lot, and if you take up a hobby which you have to be at station for longer time, which will affect both your hobby and your job career also. So look at that point when you are taking up the hobby which is organically aligned to your career or job. For example, if I ask me what I'm trying to say is if you are a salesman, if you take up weekend trekking, it's very good for your health because you're not able to have any exercises during traveling. So Saturday, Sundays trekking is very good for your health. So take up something which is connected to your job or career, which will help you. And number two is that the hobbies are very, very important aspect in Western culture. In Indian culture, it is not there. As long as you work for 9 to 5 and then, you're doing okay, nobody will ask you what's your hobby. But what I'm trying to say is that in future, while you're being interviewed, they are going to ask you, what are your hobbies? If you say that you don't have any hobbies, they will definitely suspect you that, your cognitive behavior is not as good as, what their expectations are. You're just doing your job and career will not make you a complete man. So these are some of the points I wanted to add. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gopal Reddy, for sharing these inputs. Definitely, as you're saying, it is required that we have to first figure out our time frames. Can we, give that kind of sufficient time for developing our hobbies? All those things we need to take into consideration. And one point that you have actually made is saying, in Western culture, they give so much importance to the hobbies, and in Indian culture, we are not doing it. But I would like to differ a little here or give a little more insight about this is that was how our culture was from the beginning. It was what you are good at, you are expected to do that. And people or our gurukulas and all that used to encourage that systems, and that is exactly how our society was working. Over a period when this Western culture came into India, these things were completely cut off by our in our education system or something, and importance to these activities were given less importance to vice versa of doing the actual work for the people. So this actually lost its importance somewhere in the last couple of centuries. But before that, that was the system that was there in India. Probably that we have understood this system now. If we can take a step towards at least educating ourselves and our next generation to think in these terms, it will, I think, next 2 generations will be back in our old, system of Indian culture. I think we can still do that. Thank you.
Can I add something? Hari Prasad here.
Yes, sir.
I've been facing some challenges in identifying what are the tastes or interests that my kids or kids at my home are really interested in. See, when we talk of career counseling and things like that, it could be for a age which is a little more, that is maybe late teenage or 20s, maybe that is one thing. Maybe you can help us trying to identify the areas of interest for children by some conducting workshops and things like that, some activities, and that could be of great help for parents.
Definitely.
Suggestion.
Definitely. We will definitely try to organize something and let us all know, let every one of you know, so that this will definitely help the children to take up the hobbies. At least identify what they are good at. So yes, that can be done. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, Priya.
Yes, Priya.
Hello. I listen to everyone, and many things were just common, just like Mr. Reddy sir also said. Even in Indian culture, my mother used to weave some baskets, nylon baskets in her before marriage. She was very good in all those, but she stopped doing that, and she started following her daily routine and housewife and everything. But now I feel we should follow our hobby
right from the kids only. But this is not there in our Indian culture, or but this generation, जो generation अभी कीर्ति मैम का है या मेरा है, तो अभी लाइफ में कोई प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है ना, सॉरी आई एम टॉकिंग इन हिंदी, अभी लाइफ में कोई प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है, डिप्रेशन आ जाता है, तो हम हॉबीज की तरफ जाते हैं कि ऐसा मैं क्या करूं जिससे मेरा मन उदास न रहे, मैं उस दुख को भूल पाऊं. ये मेरा समथिंग ऐसा करते करते मैं आगे बढ़ती गई. एंड सडनली माय सन सॉ कि माय मम्मी इज डूइंग कलरिंग, शी इज डूइंग समथिंग डिफरेंट, थ्रेड से कुछ कर रही हैं, कुछ बना रही हैं घर में, डॉल बनाया. एंड देन ही आल्सो जॉइंड मी. तो देयर वाज अ कुछ प्रॉब्लम हुआ, इसीलिए आप हॉबी की तरफ गए, वरना तो आप हॉबी की तरफ कभी ध्यान देते ही नहीं. और जैसा बुढ़ापा आता है तब शायद सोचते हैं कि अरे हम करें क्या. दिस इज ये इंडियन ट्रेडिशन है. और अब ठीक है, अभी 30s के लोग अगर कुछ हॉबी करते हैं तो उनके बच्चे सीख जाएंगे, समझ जाएंगे अर्ली एज में. एंड जब वो बड़े होंगे तो उनको पता होगा कि भाई मैं तो 20 साल से हॉबी कर रहा हूँ, 20 साल से अपनी हॉबी फॉलो कर रहा हूँ. तो शायद वो अपने बच्चों को पहले से ही उसमें बढ़ावा देते रहें कि अच्छा उसको कुछ मोल्डिंग पसंद है या उसको पेपर क्राफ्ट पसंद है. इन दिस वे दैट इज आपका जो प्रोग्राम था बहुत अच्छा था. ऐसा लगा कि शायद मैं सिर्फ 50% जानती हूँ, 50% आज समझ में आया.
सो मच प्रिया, शुक्रिया. आपने बहुत अच्छा बताया कि हाँ बिल्कुल. What I'm trying to say is the same thing, to continue with what Mr. Gopal Reddy was saying or what Priya is talking about. It is we as elders, once we have identified this particular scenario, we need to either inculcate ourselves and do it and learn from our elders. I'm 100% pretty sure there is no family in our India, our previous generation or generation, our grandmothers or great grandmothers are not into some kind of a hobby activities. It could be a small thing like, you know, early morning you get up and go and do rangoli outside the house itself was a hobby. But today we put stickers and we say like, ha, rangoli to ho gaya. No, not that way. There is a meaning for that. There is a reason behind what they were saying. And let me tell you, in our Indian culture, all these things has some scientific reason behind it, or some social reason behind it, or some, you know, physical or well-being ka jo reason rehta hai. It is all there. It is just that, you know, nobody told us this is the reason we are doing. So we said like, ha, ye sab chodo. My grandmother used to do, forget it. So that is, if you can bring it back into the culture, if we follow and we understand what our parents were doing, and you do it, your children will learn. You don't have to go behind them to tell like, you know, you will learn. No, you do it, they will learn. It's as simple as that. So yes, that is a wonderful thing that can be done.
I think you very rightly said. So if you go towards, you know, down south and you see the rangolis that they put outside their house in the mornings, right? There's so much of mathematical symmetry that is there. Absolutely. Yes, Mr. Parthasarathy.
Very wonderful session, Vandana. Congratulations for the superb performance.
Thank you.
And all the participants really found really good the whole thing. Yeah. Hello.
Sorry, sir. We lost you there. Can you please repeat it?
Very wonderful session, Vandana.
Thank you.
Very good. All the participants have really done a lot of good questions. From as your husband knows, I am the president of a school. From the school perspective, if I can use some important things. One of the participants said, right from the younger, the child should be allowed to do a hobby and this, and you countered there is going to be a lot of peer pressure, which I completely agree. We all, our parents want our students to become IT engineers, doctors, or some such thing. It's very easy to say the school should run this, school should run that. But in our school, we are trying to do something. We have formed some groups where if some children has some particular inclination, they are allowed to participate, and there you can put up some entrepreneurship spirit in the child. Okay, this is what is very important. As she said, I'm very happy that some parents are thinking in this line that there should be a hobby, which should be right from the school days. If that can happen, main thing is, in the open day, all the parents come and all talking to each other, mera beta doctor banna hai, mera ye banna hai, wo banna hai. So nobody says, my son wants to become a musician, my son wants to become a dancer. Yes, kisi ka hobby ka kuch bhi nahi. No, there's nothing like that. There is one thing which I really like in the participation. And the other thing which I think is this hobby can become a career if the child has the right motivation and the spirit. Like one of our students, he loved to do apps. Okay, he developed something parallel to WhatsApp, and Sundar Pichai in fact called him and congratulated him, and he's able to do a lot of apps today itself. He's doing is appearing for his IIT. We said first you do your IIT, then apps, your hobby is going to be secondary. So it's an encouragement what comes from the parents and the school which is going to help you. And what he said about the elderly generation is very important. Like I am occupied from the last 10 years in school, and so I hope I'll be spared the senility in my later life. Because you have to be very active. It's very important we be active in the school and some other hobby. So I would request you go to all the institutions where there's going to be a 6 months before the retirement. Give them a talk on hobby. What can happen? What is the future? You see, it is very important. If people who retire should be active. Only this activity is going to be. And I'll tell you, people who are retired, please don't write them off. We can contribute a lot to the society still with our experience and everything. Okay. And one of the participants said she's allowed to write. Okay, what I would suggest to her is, I'm fed up of this Jack and Jill and Baba Black Sheep. Can she come up? Even in my school, after 6 years, I'm slitting the same damn stupid bloody rhymes. Okay, can this writer come up with a good rhyme? Better rhyme suited to our times. Still, the Jack and Jill is going to the hill and bringing water and all the stupid things, And what I would suggest is we should have a mixed kind of rhyme in schools. Like I've introduced, even Rajaratnam rhymes I've introduced in our school. Let it be a multilingual rhyme. Why only English? Why not Hindi? Not Sanskrit? Why not Marathi? Why not Hindi? Everybody has a rhyme. Okay, I think all the schools should introduce multilingual rhymes. So that, see, our own languages has so much meaning, so much culture. And what is the Baba Black Sheep doing here? I can't understand. What is the Baba Black Sheep? What ethos it in drawing my Indian child? But that is the problem. 60 years back, I learned it. Even my children are learning the same thing. So the writer who's got the hobby, I would request her, please give us some good, outstanding poems so that I can introduce in my school. So this hobby can help everybody. Okay, that's what I'm trying to Vandana. Hobby is very important. Everybody has to have a different hobby. Some people can make it into a career and make money like you are making. Others can do it for the sake of it. And it can help the society in different ways.
That's right. That's right.
No, so a wonderful session. I'm very happy I attended this session. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Mr. Parthasarathy, I'm a parent to two primary school children. One is a toddler, one is a primary school kid. As you said, yes, at least this change I've seen in a lot of private schools that's coming up because my kids do learn multilingual, rhymes. And of course, even the old traditional rhymes have also kind of been modified. So there are a lot of channels called Cocomelon and Apu series and all, where they've kind of modified these rhymes to suit the current day thing. And while you're talking about the author, yes, Tejaswini here is a published author herself. So I think Tejaswini, this is a good challenge for you to, diversify your writing and bring in more Indianized rhymes, into the market.
Thank you for giving that invitation. I will work through some works probably and then, come up something with my writing.
Yeah, I think Mr. Prasad.
You should better than writing. You can give us some good limericks. You can give us some good limericks. Which is completely Indian environment.
Correct. So, keeping all these things, all the generations in mind, I think Giftrees is an excellent platform where you can actually promote all these things and people can make use of it. That's why I said, we are creating this platform for you to showcase your talents. And if you don't have, as Mr. Hariprasad was saying, if you can guide somebody to identify what they want, we are ready to do that also. And of course, at the end of it, if it is a monetary benefit, so why not? Our gift registry program actually supports the monetary benefit there. So we are giving it as a total package here. So anybody can, make use of it. So that's what it is. Yeah. Mr. Parthasarathy, I will definitely keep that in mind. And one other activity as I was mentioning.
Vandana, when you are coming to Mumbai, please visit my school. My school is next to your school only.
Definitely, sir. I heard about it. Yeah, I heard about it, and as soon as possible, I will come and visit you.
Yeah.
We will organize some program there, so I will love to come and.
We do a lot of program, especially for the children. We want to inculcate excellent habits in the children. See, they are wonderful. We are all box of wonderful talents. Unfortunately, we are not able to nurture them properly.
Correct. That's right.
Please do come in. Come to the Thanks for the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Parthasarathy. Manisha, you had a question. We can take your question now.
No, it was not a question exactly. I just wanted to share that, just a thing, an innocuous thing like a hobby, which we, don't give so much importance to. And Vandana has put it there on the pedestal, and the potential of the hobby has come out, through this presentation. And I just wanted to thank Vandana for that.
Thank you so much, Manisha.
Something which we take for granted and we don't give much importance has so much potential for the growth of a person, right? For the mental, physical, social well-being everywhere, it can help. So I just wanted to thank Vandana for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Manisha.
Yes.
It was my pleasure.
Thank you, Manisha. Anyone else, any questions that you would like to ask or any thoughts you would like to share?
Vandana, is this Gifteries in Bangalore, and also online presence is also there, I think. So is it physically located in Bangalore or India-wide in different states, and how is it?
Okay, let me put it like this. Yes, I'm based out of Bangalore. And since we are talking about a digital platform, so it is open worldwide. The platform would be ready within another couple of weeks time, probably by month end, with a new version and with new avatar, as they say. So that would be coming up. That is, the work is going on for that. In the meantime, if you want to get associated and to take it forward, how do we jointly do activities? You can always reach out to me personally, and we can collaborate from there and get going from there. So it's based out of Bangalore physically, but open to the world.
I think Tejaswini's question was whether you have a physical mom and pop store. No, this is a complete online digital platform.
Okay.
So it's I've shared the web link on the group chat. It's gifteries.com. And as I'm given to understand, the website is undergoing renovation and coming up with a complete new avatar. So hopefully, maybe in another 2 weeks, you should be able to see the new avatar.
Okay.
Yeah. Any more questions? Anybody else would like to ask any questions?
You can unmute and talk.
Mr. James, you're muted.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
this is James from Salem. Congratulations, madam. Vandana, madam.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Very useful, and definitely we can take up these wonderful ideas to the rest of the world. And we have been talking already. We want online classes. A lot of people who are staying at home, especially the housewives, the ladies, they wanted to learn something. And also, I promised you that I will arrange a Rotary speaker meeting, which is still pending. I'm sure definitely we will arrange it. The third wave is coming. Again, we are going for a lockdown. So definitely we'll have an online meeting. So definitely I will arrange another meeting.
Thank you so much.
Keep up the good work, Vandana.
Thank you so much.
All the best. All the best.
Thank you, Mr. James. Before I hand it over to Mr. Ramprasad, just another thing that I would like to share is, we had organized one of the birthday parties through Gifteries, and a very interesting concept that Gifteries had come up with was, as part, now return gifts today has become a very integral part of, every birthday party that is there. And parents I've seen literally spend like thousands and I'm not joking, it goes right up to 5, 6, 7, 10,000 rupees just to buy return gifts. So instead of splurging so much on that, what Gifteries did was they brought in an expert in soap making and organic soap making. and they made the kids sit together and make different soaps of their color, choice of color. So they mixed colors, they mixed the product, they mixed the various oils and the ingredients. They chose a perfume of their choice, and they themselves poured it into molds, and everything was done by them. And finally they got to take the soaps back. Whichever soaps that they had made, they got to take it back with themselves as their return gift. So this became a very interactive session, and I think it was one of the best birthday celebrations that I have seen. So, these are various concepts, and this is just one of several such concepts that they keep coming up with, which makes celebrations not just interesting, but also more environmentally conscious. So, with that, I would like to hand over the stage to Mr. Ramprasad to kindly say a few words.
Thank you, Kirtana, and it was an excellent session. I would like to thank all the audience, NHRWA members, non-members, my dear friends, and people who have attended from different parts of India, and people who have attended from Vietnam, people who have attended from Malaysia, and thank you very much for this wonderful participation. And as rightly she was talking about hobbies, it looks like a what hobby kind of a thing. And during pandemic, I have a hobby of gardening. So during pandemic situation, we are not able to go out. So I started growing my own vegetables in the garden. That too, we have a balcony garden. In the balcony garden, I could able to grow things which we could pick it up and cook it for ourselves and eat. And when we can, I can spend quality time instead of just wasting my time and thinking what to do kind of a thing. Hobby can be created, hobby can be nurtured, hobby can be found out. If you don't have any hobby, if you don't have idea, we can just see that what best it will be suit me and what interests me, we can do it. And it was a wonderful session, Vandana, for your thoughtful and whatever the childhood hobbies, what you heard, you took it out and you briefed and explained so nicely. It is insight for all the people. And I would like to thank all the people who given the guidance, like Parsarthi, Priya and James especially, and definitely we want to take it to the lower level, to the school children, instead of going to the corporates and telling them. We can also do that, but taking to the school level and giving them these things, they will have a quality time spending instead of sitting and watching either the phone or the TV. They can do a lot of things in the and NHRWA is something that we are giving a platform for all the people, entrepreneurs, to showcase their talents and exhibit talent. Here, lot of people coming out and they're exhibiting their talents and coming out with the flying colors, rather I can say. And thank you, Mr. Narasimhan, for this wonderful opportunity that NHRWA, what we are giving. He is the founder of NHRWA, and I'm the co-founder of NHRWA. And as Mr. Parsarthi was telling, that definitely we love to bring a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of budding entrepreneurs to bring their hobbies to Bombay, and definitely will love to give whatever the best we could able to give to that these young children's. I would like to thank Kirtana. Without thanking Kirtana, I don't think so it will be complete, for an excellent hand-holding of the entire session. Thank you so much, Kirtana, for your time and your excellent way of putting across things. I don't know, in your blood it is there. Thank you very much, Kirtana, for everything. Thank you. Thank you very much all the participants who have taken your time and attended and given your thoughts. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, RP. Thank you.
Yeah. As I said, please do fill in your feedback, the feedback form, because it will help NHRWA understand what kind of sessions they would like to, you would like to attend going forward. And I would also like to share once again that everybody who has filled in the feedback form, you will be receiving the certificate of participation from Giftories very soon on your email. Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely weekend ahead.
We would like to receive the gift also.
Thank you.
From Vandana.
Thank you.
I'm gifting myself to you.
Yeah. I can get a gift from RP at least. Thank you, RP.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.